Hello, I'm Dan Michaels. This is my wife Lisa. We've been married for 28 years. I've been on pellets now for 6.5 years, give or take. Life before pellets was quite a challenge. I remember coming home and just wanting to go straight to bed, and my wife just looked at me and said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just tired." And this went on for quite some time. And finally she said, you need to go to the doctor. And being a typical guy, I said, "I don't need no doctor." And she goes, "Well, I'm working with this company and they deal in hormones." And I'm thinking, female hormones, I don't need no female hormone stuff. So I went to my doctor, and of course he did blood work and he got the results. He goes, "I got good news and bad news. The bad news is you're getting old. That's all it is. It's old age." I said, "What's the good news?" He goes, "You're just getting old. There's nothing wrong." I said, "Oh, great. There's nothing you do to help me." And he goes, "Well, I can give you some cream and you can put it on. It might help." So he did that, and I went home, put it on, and that lasted all of, 5 days. You had to be careful how you did it. You can't touch your pets, blah, blah, blah. And I felt no relief at all. So pretty much went back to guy mode and says, "I don't need no doctors."
As Dan mentioned, I also 6.5 years almost. He went 3 months earlier than I did, mostly because I was a weenie, which I'll talk about that later. But my major symptoms were forgetfulness, brain fog, and yes, those are two different things. Brain fog more from the perspective of I just, would pause and think, what have I done? Have I been productive? No, I haven't been productive, or not even remembering what I did. And then forgetfulness is flat out, beyond the normal mother things, if you can't remember your kids' names, that just is universal. But actually forgetting either what I went in the room to do or words being on the tip of my tongue, literally forgetting on a regular basis, so just not some one-off stuff. And then I had low libido, could have cared less if I had sex or not. Obviously he's handsome and I want to have sex, but yeah, my mind did.
That worked both ways though. You're so tired. My life consisted of getting up in the morning, drinking coffee, going to work. At lunchtime, I'd go eat lunch and take a quick 30-minute nap in my truck, come back to work, drink more coffee just to get through the afternoon, come home, and like I said, I'm not thinking about anything else but taking care of the household chores, whatever, and getting ready for bed. So
that was life before pellets.
That was life before, for sure. So eventually, after doing the guy thing, trudging on my own, I said, okay, I don't care. If I have to go to a women's clinic or whatever, I need help. So I came in, got my blood work done. The results came back. They called me in for a consultation, and they just looked at me kind of inquisitively and said, how do you get up in the morning? I said, "Man, that's a struggle." He goes, "Yeah, we bet." Because, on the scale for testosterone, I was at a 187, and that means nothing to most people, but now I'm at around 1,000 at optimal. So they finally understood that there was something going wrong, and they had a solution. And so I immediately jumped at the chance to take advantage of the therapy. It didn't hurt at all. Nicole did my first insertion, and it was great. Felt no pain, and I bet in a week or two, I just felt amazing again. I said, "Wow, what's going on?" And then the next 2 weeks after that felt even better. I started working out in the gym again, and so one thing feeds upon the other. I had interest in doing other things, so I started a new business, more attentive at home to my wife and children, and had the energy, no more naps, and cut back on coffee now just for enjoyment in the morning. Wasn't a necessity to get through the day, so it was a great experience. Workouts have gotten me back to new maxes where I was back in my mid-20s, and so I really enjoy that. I've got energy to do extracurricular things on weekends. It's just been a blessing in my life and our marriage, of course.
I think what's interesting is, of course, I was encouraging him to go. I didn't go till 3 months after him. Some of that was, most of it was because I was a weenie, but the other part that made me get past that was the results I saw in him were amazing. And so, and when I say a weenie, I don't even know how I had kids. I don't do needles. To me, this was surgery, even though it was explained to me that, it takes less than 3 minutes to get it done. So finally, 3 months after him, I actually went. One of the things I want to mention is he mentioned coming to a female clinic. And I think one of the things that he found out was, of course, there are men there. It isn't just a female thing. But yeah, the procedure, it really did only take 3 minutes. I promise, if you're a weenie, you'll be fine. I still, try to play it up. No one buys into it now, but in the beginning, I got away with it for at least maybe, like a year almost, at least with the kids anyway. He knew what it was like, so I didn't get much grace there. But the kids, I was like, oh yeah, mom had surgery today. It was just a minor procedure, but, I got to be able to rest. And so I played it up.
Put a Band-Aid on you.
Yeah, it was a Band-Aid, but it was the emotional trauma of it all. I'd love to tell you I'm better. I'm not really, but I just a little dramatic. So, like I said, with the symptoms that I had, for me, it really was immediate. We're very transparent people, so one of the first things I noticed was the libido piece of it. As a matter of fact, I was cracking up, wondering, okay, it's not gonna keep going, is it? I was concerned about how high it was going, or at least that's how I felt. Little did I know that my testosterone level was so low, non-respondent. So getting myself back to normal and just, really increasing my testosterone was life-changing. So between libido, the brain fog and forgetfulness and all those things, for me, I noticed, a week for myself, and then it just kept getting better and better for there. And so what's nice about it is you get to what your new optimal level is, and you can kind of mostly maintain that. So, you're really low in the beginning, and you get back.
It's more like your new normal. I just expected life at 6-7 years ago, that was my normal, and I didn't expect any different. I said, man, I was trudging through life. Now this is our new normal, and I'm wondering why anybody else wouldn't at least explore this option. It's made a tremendous difference in our lives, physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually, everything. So I can't say enough about it. And
the other thing I'd like to add to that is the difference that it's not just made in our family, but our family's family. One of the things that you'll find is this is more than just about you. It does impact how you show up as spouses, how you show up as a parent, in our case, a grandparent as well. But I was able to get my mom on pellet therapy, and for her to be able to back down off medications and in some cases get off medication, huge. You want to talk about generational impact. My daughter played professional collegiate volleyball, then went and played professional overseas and came back. And I don't know if it was just the years, involved in sports or what, but shockingly, at 23, her testosterone level seriously was at the level of mine after, 3 kids. And for them to be able to even help her get back to functioning at an optimal level. And that's another thing that we've noticed in talking to friends and family members is younger people are also experiencing this. So definitely an all natural, life-changing solution for sure.
Yep.